Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Come on in. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome on this Monday afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Monique. I am a life coach and I teach women how to take responsibility for their happiness, success, and freedom. So come on in with me today. I just have a quick message for you. And I promise I won't be here with you long. I won't be here with you long at all. Come on in. I just got a quick message for you. I said, let me go and do a quick live. Hello, Michelle. How are you, dear? I said, let me go do a quick message for the tribe today. Come on in. Come on in. Let me know how you all are doing. Can you hear me good? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I have a message for you all, and I'm going to get right into the message. I don't want to wait too long. Excuse me. Should have brought my water. You leveling up, your level up, you leveling up, you doing just the inkling of something different is going to cost you. It is going to cost you. The moment that you decide to level up, the moment that you decide you want better for yourself, the moment that you decide that enough is enough and you want to just do better than what you were doing, it's going to cost you. I don't know if you're willing to pay that price. See, people don't talk about when you want to level up. They don't talk about the cost, the price that you have to pay for you just wanting to do better. There is a price you got to pay. There is a price you have to pay. And people don't want that, they don't want to talk about that. You don't hear people talking about the losses. Only thing they just talk about level up, level up. No, there is a cost to it that you have to be prepared for if you want to level up in any way, any small way. And I'm not talking about leveling up to where you're talking just worried about money, which is money is important, okay? Like Les Brown says, right up there with oxygen. We need money, right? But I'm not talking about even money. I'm not talking about finances. You could level up in your health. If you are a person that is overweight and now you say you're trying to, and this is not to speak against anyone that's overweight, but if you're a person that, you are overweight and you're like, you know what, something needs to change. I need to start eating right. Okay, there goes the haters. You didn't have any haters or anybody talking about you when you were overweight, but now you want to change your eating habits. Now you want to cut back on sugar. You want to cut back on your salt and you just want to eat healthy and organic. Now people have a problem. You could have been an alcoholic or drinking one too many, not really an alcoholic. You just want to stop drinking alcohol. You don't want anything else to do with it. You could have been a smoker. You could be a serious dater. Anything that requires for you to be disciplined and to change your behavior, any form of leveling up, there is a price you have to pay. There is a price. You're going to lose friends, so-called friends. Yes, you are. Let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth. Shame the devil. Come on now. You're going to lose those so-called friends. You're going to receive those hating little snide remarks about this, that, and the other. You're going to, catch the shade wrapped up in jokes. Yes, you are. Any little thing that you do, to try to level up yourself, you're going to pay a price for that. You're going to lose people. You're going to pay a price. And that price is losing people who you didn't think had a problem with you until you decided to do something different. As soon as you decide to do something different, now it just seems like everyone has a problem. You feel this unnecessary tension. You feel this unnecessary, you know, energy, these unnecessary vibes. When you go around, you feel this unnecessary energy. That's because it's costing you. It's costing you. It's costing you to level up in any way. But my thing is, you have to be willing to pay the price. I'm willing to pay the price. I am willing to pay the price. If what I'm doing is not harming anyone and it's something just to better me, to make me a better person, I'm not putting anyone down. If it's something to help me to become a better person, I'm willing to pay that price. Are you willing to pay the price of leveling up? That's what I should have named this title. Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to pay the price of people teaming up against you? Everybody finding something small to attack you for, to come up against you for. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for people to point out your flaws because they're jealous and they see that you're heading somewhere? Now they want to point out your flaws and make you look like, you're just this flawed person, like you just need to be fixed. Oh, while they have a big beam in their eye, they want to try to tell you to take the beam out of yours. But are you ready for this? People, they don't talk about this. People don't talk about this type of stuff. Are you ready to see how people really feel about you? You have some people around you that seems like they're for you. It seems like they're in your corner. They were there for you in the beginning. They were there for you when you were, not doing better than them. They were there for you when you were struggling. And it seemed like you needed their assistance. You needed their help. They were there for you. They were there for you when you were sick. You in and out the hospital because your health was in the trash. But now that you're trying to, you're healthier, you're doing right, you're taking your vitamins, you're reversing a lot of the illnesses that once put you in the hospital. Now you're a problem. This for somebody. I'm just giving some examples. I'm just giving examples, whatever come to mind, because somebody needs to hear this. Now you're the problem because you're no longer out in the streets, running the streets, not knowing who you are. You didn't know you were a chosen one. Now you know who you are, and God is cleaning you up. Don't clean you up. You don't got off drugs, and you're not an alcoholic. You're not an alcoholic. You're not promiscuous. You're not in the streets. God has cleaned you up. And you'll realize you've always had the light on you. You just didn't know it. You were always a chosen one. You just didn't know who you were. But it seemed like people were for you then. Now that you're clean, now that you're getting yourself together, God has purified you. You don't look like what you've been through. You are a walking testimony. And now everybody, they got a problem with you. Now they got a problem. They didn't bring you all this energy when you were out there lost. You didn't have all that energy. They didn't come to you with all that negative energy when you was out just roaming the streets, not knowing who you were. You didn't know who you were. Now you're clean, right? Now you're clean. Now God has purified you, reset you. You don't look like what you've been through. Okay. He's restoring some of your youth. Some of y'all, he restoring your youth. You don't even look the same. He's restoring you. He's restoring your mind, your soul. He's restoring your soul. And it's a journey, but now you're a problem. You were not a problem before. You were not a problem when you didn't have any skills. You were just getting a minimum wage jobs. And nothing is wrong with that. But now God is blessing you. He's giving you a skill set. He's taking you from minimum wage, right, to 6 figures. Oh, people got a problem. They didn't have a problem when you was, working your minimum wage job, barely getting by. They didn't have a problem with that. Now that he has given you the experience on that job, now you develop a skill set and you can manage now to take care of yourself. Now you're a problem. Are you willing to pay the price that it costs you to level up? Are you willing for people to not want to deal with you anymore? They will ghost you. Stop calling and texting. Are you ready for the emotional and spiritual punishment that comes with you wanting to do better for yourself? Are you willing to stop? Are you willing to cut people off when they don't respect your boundaries? Because people don't like to respect boundaries. They have a problem. People have a problem with being told what to do. Are you ready for that? Are you willing to pay the price? People don't talk about this. And I see it all the time. I've experienced, but I also see it. I also see it. But you have to get to a place to where, in order to live out your purpose and in order to do what it is that you need to be doing, living out the desires of your heart. In order to do that, you can't worry about what people think. You have to get to a place where you can't worry about what people think. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. But in order to, hey baby, come here. Uh, in order to level up, how was your day? I love you. What is that? I got a little honor roll certificate. I'm being a mom still, so I'm proud of you, baby.
Yeah, this is just for Fun Depot. That's later. It's not like an invitation. It's just like it's a pass.
I got my baby got his little certificate. Go ahead on, son. I'm proud of you. So, what I was saying, are you willing to pay that price? Because there's a price you have to pay. There is a price you have to pay. And I don't think we have tallied up the cost, because a chosen one in their innocence, chosen ones, we have this innocence about us to where we think everybody think like us. We think that everybody has a good heart like us. We think that everybody is would cheer us on. And that's why we be so bummed, because we think when it comes to us, we think that people will support us like we support them. We think that people will ride or die for us like we ride or die for them. We don't get that support, chosen ones. And that is an indication of your strength. When you don't get that support and you still could keep going, you still can level up, and you get to the place to where you don't need anybody to support you. You don't need anyone to cheer you on. Although God will send those people. Now he will send those people, because he know we can't live in this world alone. What's up? Oh, I want you to rest your nerves.
I'm not gonna go work out. Okay. At least can I get ice cream?
Yes, I bought you some cookies up on the counter. You can try one, see if you like it. Yes, we think everybody's like us. We think everybody ride or die like us. We think everybody has a good heart like we do. And they don't. But once you get to that place to where you're content, and that's why I said we got to heal, chosen ones. That's why I started this you could say it's a ministry. I don't call it a ministry, but it's a business. Maybe I'm ministering through the business, the responsibility LLC. Oh, thank you, Michelle. But it's just part of who I am, right? That's why I started this channel, because I want to help people to deal with themselves, to realize that happiness comes from within. Until we learn to deal with the things that we did not get as children, the support, the validation, and we learn how to reparent ourselves, we learn how to nurture ourselves. It is then we will learn to be successful. We will learn to be content with leveling up and not having people supporting us. Because I'd rather have one genuine person supporting me than 100 fake people. I'd rather have one genuine person in my corner. We can go and take a trip to, Jamaica somewhere to celebrate, or go out to dinner or something, than to have a group of haters and people just watching just to see, just to come along. Because some people like to tag along against you. They like to, what it is, what is the word? They like to latch on to you when they see that you're going somewhere. But they don't want to latch on to you in your struggle. When you're struggling and barely getting by, and they can't see the vision, they don't want to latch on then. They want to leave. They want to leave then. They want to talk about you and try to destroy you. But soon as you level up and they see that you have a little inkling of success, they'll try to, what they say, spin the block. They'll try to come back around, knowing they don't dog you out, knowing they don't talk about you and ghosted you and stopped talking to you, got mad, and knowing they don't did all these things, and they think you forgot. You haven't forgotten about that. And you don't have to be angry with these people. But you just can't let them back in your circle. You can't let them back in your circle. Because they were not for you. If a person can't be there for you when you're down, they definitely can't be there for you when you're going up. They definitely can't be there with you then. But there is a price you got to pay. I keep talking about this because I want you all to get it. There is a price you have to pay. Because people run when they think your life is in shambles. They don't want to deal with you. They'll run and talk about you and say, oh, this person is doing this person doing, they talk, especially in the brown community. Oh, they doing bad. They don't know what's going on in your life, but they just sense that you're heading downhill. And they'll go to running from you. They don't want to stay there with you. They don't want you to vent to them. But they vented to you and you were there for them. They don't want to support you. But then they'll spin the block as if they as if they didn't know what was going on. Or because people want what they're not willing to give. They want you to support them, but they don't want to be there for you. They want to dump all their problems on you, but when you want somebody to vent to, they're not there for you. That's why I tell y'all to journal, because people are not going to support you how you support them. Journaling, and you confess your issues to God. And if you need somebody, ask God to send you the right person. Hire you a coach or something, a therapist, a coach, because you only need somebody to talk to. And sometimes you have to pay a little money. I'm telling you, I've hired a coach plenty of times because I'd rather talk to a stranger than talk to some people that I think so-called, hey, Keisha, that I think so-called supposed to be there for me. Oh, they really do, Shantae. Oh, I hired some. That's why I became a life coach, because I've been one all my life, to be honest. I've been one all my life. I've been given advice and encouragement and motivation and all that since I can remember. I just been that person. It's in me. It's in me. It's not on me. Yes. Everybody needs somebody that they feel they can trust, that they feel like they can confess their sins to, and they're not going to feel like somebody's going to talk about it or share it with everybody in the family, everybody in their friend groups. Like, you need to release that. And see, that's why a lot of people are depressed. And I'm going to say this because somebody needs to hear this. You are depressed because you're suppressing what you've gone through. You're suppressing the abuse that you've experienced, and you need to just confess that. That's biblical. This has nothing to do with hiring a coach. You don't even need to hire a coach, but you can hire, talk to someone in your church, a counselor or something. But sometimes you got to find the right person, because people who are in church, sometimes they're not trustworthy. You'll be hearing all your business around church. It is. It's very hard to find somebody trustworthy. That's why you got to pray. Pray. And you have to get to the point too. You want to find people you trust, but also you got to get to the point to where you don't care about certain things. Now, if you don't off somebody, listen, this just an example. I'm just being silly. If you don't off somebody, now you got to take that to God. Okay. I'm not condoning that, but you can't tell everything. You got to use discretion, right? Use discretion. God will let you know what you can release and what not to release, But if it's something that's weighing on you mentally, if it's something weighing on you, you got to release that, because that pressure is the cause of your ailments. That pressure is the cause of a lot of the sicknesses that you're carrying in your body. You've normalized that, and that's not normal, and it's not healthy. I don't like to be stressed out. I made up in my mind, and I did this when I was younger. I made this decision when I was younger. Before I let something stress me out, and before I allow people to use something against me, I'll confess that thing myself. If it gets to the point to where a person tries to hang something over my head, oh, I'm the one for you. I'm the one for you. Because see, when you confess something, you quiet the enemy up, because the enemy likes when you try to hide things. And people like to, make you ashamed because they feel like you're trying to hide something. No, I'm the one. I put that thing on blast to let you know you're not gonna own me with this, or you're not gonna use this against me. Who? I'm not that person. No, nope. I'm very truthful, and it's hard for me to hide. Anyways, but sometimes things are not just people business. Um, and you have to use discernment and use your discretion. Use your discernment because sometimes people just want to know certain things when it's nothing relevant to them. You know what I mean? It's like it's none of their business. You don't have to prove anything, so therefore you don't have to say anything to that person because you want to make they're not relevant in your life. So you don't have to confess nothing to them. You can let them believe what they want. So depends on the circumstance and the situation. You got to confess and be open and honest so people can't hold things over your head. But you need to release that. People got so much bottled in and they feel like they can't talk to people. Investing in a coach, investing in a therapist, someone you can talk to, taking the time to seek out a grief counselor or some type of counselor. Even there's free resources, but you got to be willing to do what it takes. And it is hard to find some trustworthy life coaches and therapists. It is. I remember one time years ago, I was seeking to look for a therapist. It was back in 2000, I think 2018. People just were not in it with compassion for me. And I talked about in one of my videos previously why, how God told me I didn't need a therapist. I just needed to forgive. I just needed to forgive and let go. And I didn't want to do that, because when you don't forgive, that it drives you crazy. It drives you into depression. It makes you stressed out. It creates anxiety. It creates fear. And I know it's hard to forgive. That's why you need God. You can't do it without him. That's what he showed me. I couldn't do it without him. Every time I pray, I say, Lord, help me to forgive these people. Because it is hard to forgive people who have mistreated you. You didn't do anything to them. And they come up against you for no reason. It's hard to forgive those people. I'm not going to sit here and lie. But it takes God. It takes him to show you why and how to forgive. And the only reason I was able to forgive, let me tell you how, what God showed me. And it's simple, just what his prayer says. I've done things to people, right? The things that I've done, I wanted God to forgive me for it. Although I felt like what other people did was more damaging to me. We got the little, we got the little, we got the little tiers of pain and unforgiveness, right? We got a little tier. That's tier 1 pain. Tier 2 is tier 3. I'm like, my pain, what I did wasn't as bad as what they did to me. No, he say, no. If you want me to forgive you, you have to forgive them. This doesn't mean you reconcile. This doesn't mean you have a kumbaya moment. This doesn't mean that you go back and put yourself back in that situation again. That doesn't mean that. We got to stop this foolishness. Because we think when we forgive someone, we think that we're supposed to let them back in. No, that's foolishness. Use discretion. God will have you reconcile in some of those relationships, but you got to be led. Don't do that in your own strength because you feel like because you forgave them, now y'all supposed to come back. No, that's not how that go. Use your discretion. Let God lead you into that. That's how you end up hurt again. You don't let your guard back down because, I forgave them. So that means I got to go back around them and let them inflict pain on me again because, some people don't change. So why put yourself back in that situation? Don't put yourself in that 7 times 7. No, you got one time and I'm gone. Ain't no 7 times 7. You don't have to put yourself back into the predicament 70 times 7. No, you got a few chances and that's it. And I'm not putting myself back in that predicament. Okay? I'm not doing that. Got to use wisdom. But that's what I want to come talk to you all about. If you are not ready to pay the price for leveling up on any level, it can be a small level, a fraction of something. If you are not ready to go through pain, ghosting, being talked about, being lied on, being shaded, being hated, being left out the group, being left out the everything. If you're not ready for it, don't level up. Don't do anything outside of what you've been doing if you're not willing to pay the price. If you are not willing to pay the price, don't do anything extra. Period. Don't do anything extra. Because you're going to pay a price. But you have to get to the point to where you don't care. If it's a desire in you, you have to not care. Yes. Shantae, you're going, and that's part of it. Yes, it's hard. I'm not going to, that's what I'm telling you. There's a price to pay. That's why I'm here telling you. You got to be willing to pay that price. It's very hard. Oh, no, it's not. But my thing is, you're welcome, Offset Queen. My thing is, let me tell you, you have to get strong enough. That's why I talk about healing a lot. That's why I talk about healing. And yes, it is. It's a very lonely place. That's why you have to connect yourself to people who are doing the work on themselves. This is why I talk about healing. And healing is nothing hard as far as, well, I take that back. It is hard. I lied. Listen, healing is nothing, I won't say hard, nothing that you can't do. What it is, healing starts with getting new knowledge. It is going to be hard at first because you're changing the way you have been doing things. Your normal is not the norm. Your normal is not the norm. So it is going to be hard at first. The hardest part about it is taking the first step. Yes, it's taking the first step. This is why I started coaching. Because sometimes people just need someone to listen. It has nothing to do with a person giving them advice, giving them tools, giving them resources. Some people just need somebody to listen with an understanding ear, with the open ear, and not come from a place of judgment, not tell them what they should be doing. And if I were you, people don't need to hear that all the time. They don't need to hear that. They just need someone to listen. That's it. To listen. And it could take one word One word to change somebody's life forever. One word, one outlook, one perspective. I went all the way to Washington, D.C. back in 2019 to get one word. I went to this conference and I got one word that delivered me. One. I paid for a flight, and I knew I was supposed to be there. I paid for a flight. I paid for the conference. I paid for the room. I almost spent like a good $1,000 overall for the flight, the room. It was 2 days. Yeah. And it was an anointed word. And that word was I needed to go handle business. I need to confront what it is I need to go confront. I was told to go back home to deal with. I went all the way there for that, knowing I had to deal with what I needed to deal with. But I went all the way to Washington to be told what my spirit already told me I should have done. But this time it was anointed word, and I knew I had to do it. $1,000 for that. But guess what? That was the anointed word. That was the best word, and it changed my life. It changed my life. That was another step in my healing process. Changed my life. The word was confronted. That's what it was. Confront it. That's what I heard from the conference. And I came back home and I did just what I was told to do. I didn't want to do it. I was afraid to do it. I didn't want to make people mad. You know, we be so concerned, chosen ones. We be worried about everybody else. We're the type of people that consider everybody around us. But you got these devils out here, they don't care about nobody but themselves. You consider everything. You consider everything. Who it hurt, who it affect. If I do this, this will affect that person. If I say this, this will affect this person. If I do this, if I walk away, if I do. We thinking 2-3 years down the road. But people reaping havoc on the chosen ones, they don't think nothing about you. They don't think nothing about us. That's why God fighting for us. Because see, we too weak to fight for ourselves. He got to come down and put judgment on these folks for us. Because we can't even fight for ourselves. But he's making some of us stronger. He's building some of us up. He's building some of us up. Because we can't even fight for ourselves. Too worried about what they're going to think. Oh, we don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I'm in the point in my life right now. Wherever anybody show out, whatever what that it was a saying. Wherever you what the old folks that used to tell us what the saying is, wherever you show out, you're gonna get wore out. Listen, wherever a person act, because see, I'm not a person that's combative. I was listening to this girl, little young girl the other day who I follow on YouTube. I love listening to her because she experienced, I know she's the chosen one, because the chosen ones have experienced a lot of stuff. And what she be talking about, I can relate so well because I've been through everything she talk about. I'm gonna find her name. Her name is Justice. Chosen, I think. Give me my phone, son, right here.
Your phone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Her name is Justice something. Justice Prince or Justice. But I follow her. And I like her. Thank you. I'm proud of you. Yeah, keep up the good work.
I'm gonna show you that real quick.
Huh?
I'm gonna show you that real quick.
Oh, yeah.
And my siblings. I still believe those.
Let's see. What's her name? But yeah, I follow her. And everything she talks about, I can relate to. And I know she's a chosen one. Her name is Justice Prince. So filled with so much wisdom. Filled with so much wisdom. And come close the door, son. And oh, yes, but filled with so much wisdom. And I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. I'm trying to see what I was going to tell you. You need to take a nap.
I think you're gonna have it on. Just ask your live chat.
Mm-hmm.
What you were doing, like what you were talking about. If you.
Oh yeah, what was I talking about? My son said he asked you all. I forgot, but I know I was talking about the chosen ones, how we consider everybody and no one considers us. But oh yes, like my grandmother used to say, wherever you show out, you're gonna get wore out. That means if you show out in public, you're gonna get a whooping in public. So when people come for you all with this negative energy and their snide remarks, and they saying different things to you, you have to address it right there. You don't have to be mean and nasty. But see, like she was saying, I'm not a person. This is what I was gonna say. The young girl, when I would listen to her video, young lady, not girl, she's a young lady. When I was listening to her, she was talking the truth. She was like, I'm not the person. I'm so delayed in my response. People could insult me in my face. And I don't be on that frequency. I don't catch the shade and the insult until I get home. I'm getting ready for bed to say my prayers. And then I say, oh no, she didn't say that to me. Listen, look, it be so delayed. 2 days later, I'm thinking about, oh, I know she didn't say that to me. She didn't. I don't be on that frequency. And that's what happens sometimes. When you're not on that frequency, you're not going to catch the shade of what people doing and saying to you. I don't be thinking about that. That was one person insulted me when I was working on my old job. I have a long history in healthcare. So it was one girl just being a hater, and throwing shade. And I didn't catch the shade until I got home. And that's what I was saying just now. I was like, now, no, she didn't say that to me. I know she did not, but I let it go and I went on about my business, because I knew it was coming from a place of weakness and bitterness on her part that had nothing to do with me. That's what I've learned to what that word is, compartmentalize things and determine if what people are trying to project on me has something to do with me or them. Is it something that I'm doing or is something in them? And once you learn, and it takes work, it don't happen overnight. I've been doing this work a long time. Listen, I've been doing this work a long time. It's not easy, especially depends on how broken you were in your childhood, how damaged and how much you allowed. It takes time to get to a place to where you show out. You're gonna get wore out. Okay. It takes time. That's why it's called personal development. That's why I got this channel. This is a personal development channel. This is a life coaching and personal development channel where we focus on dealing and healing ourselves. We're not responsible for what mom and daddy did 20 years ago. We're not responsible. We can't go back and undo it. But we are responsible for what we can do right now. We are responsible for letting it go, for developing and thinking of a way, right, that we can get over what happened to us. A new way of dealing. What is the lesson that you can learn? This is when I coach, this is what I help people do too. What lessons can you learn from that? What lessons can you learn from the pain? What lessons can you learn, right, from being abused? Excuse me. What lessons? We can learn not to treat people the way we were treated. That's number one. We can learn to have a backbone, to stand up if it doesn't feel good, right? If it doesn't feel good, no. We have to, we got to learn to nip things in the bud in the beginning. Don't consider people's feelings over our own all the time. If something makes you feel uncomfortable, let people know. I don't like this. This feels uncomfortable. This feels uncomfortable. I don't like when you do this. I don't like when you say this. I don't like when you joke about this. And be willing to distance yourself, to disassociate yourself if people don't respect your boundaries. We have to be willing to disassociate. We'd be so afraid to let people go. Who wants to be around people who don't respect us? Who wants to be around somebody who don't respect you? I don't. I don't want to be around people who don't respect me. And it is going to be lonely because you got a lot of people who are not doing the work on themselves. You got a lot of adult babies walking around here, adult toddlers walking around in this world. They're not doing the work. When you start doing the work, yes, it's going to be lonely. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be lonely. No, you can't get rid of everybody. You're going to feel like you want to get rid of everybody, but you can't. But you can set healthier boundaries. You know what you can and can't do with people. You know where you can and can't go with them. You have to learn to put people in categories. And it's not easy. It takes work. That's why it's personal growth and development. It takes time and it's work. You know you can't cut everybody off, but you know, oh, I can't go to this. I can't go to this event. Oh, Thanksgiving, I'm not going over there Thanksgiving. Because see, if they say something out of their way or you get too tensed up, you know what I'm saying? Why go to places where you're going to be tense? That's my thing. Why go anywhere where you have to brace yourself? Why be around people that you know you got to start bracing yourself, preparing yourself mentally? You got to do all that. Don't go. I don't want to go around anybody where I got to feel like I got to prepare myself mentally just to be around you. I'm not going around you. That's a no. That is a no. If I feel like I got to prep myself, it's like you got to crank yourself up just to, no. Who wants to do that? That's silly within itself. You got to coach yourself. If she say this to me, I'm going to say this back to her. If they do this, I'm going to just say, you coaching yourself already. You don't need to be going around this type of behavior, these type of people. If you have to mentally prepare yourself to go around people, that means you shouldn't be going. And I don't care who it is. Don't cut people off until you have the conversation now. Be honest. And then you know if they're hiding and don't want to have the conversation, then you distance yourself. Because some people run from you. They know what you want to talk about, but they don't want to give you that chance. They don't want to face themselves. So they'll run from you. And that's okay. You got to know how to move accordingly. Move accordingly. But that's what I want to come talk to you all about. I didn't want to stay here an hour. So I'm glad you all came to chit chat with me today. So do the work on yourself. Don't be afraid. Invest in yourself. Instead of running, buying people all this Christmas stuff, your kids, trying to buy things for Christmas, take some of that money, invest in yourself if you haven't. Invest in you, a coach or a therapist, or, get you some type of tools to help you. Find a program. It don't have to be my program. Research. Find a program that'll help you get through what it is that you're trying to overcome. I'm always looking. I've invested in so many programs. I've invested in Toyo Kill, Tony Gaskins. Who else? I got so many. Look, I got so many courses and classes, but I need this stuff to help me. Who else? I just invested in an online digital course that I want to take. I want to increase my skills in the online market. Is it Udemy? I think it's Udemy. I invested in a course on there. I'm always investing. Anytime I get some little extra money, I'm investing. I had a health coach a little while ago, and Coach Rowe. I'm always doing things to improve, and that's how you should be. Don't be afraid to invest. Investing in yourself is the best thing you could do. You'll take it more serious. It's good to come listen to people on YouTube. That's how I get help as well. But you'll take yourself more serious when you start investing your money and your time to study, learn a new skill, to really do the work that the people are telling you to do. Because a lot of time people just don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the work. And it is hard. I'm not going to lie. It is hard. But once you start, it gets easier. Once you start and keep going, it gets easier. So you all, thank you for tuning in with me today. Don't forget, you can always book your sessions with me. Also, check out my website on Gumroad. I have free resources there. If you're a business owner, I have the 10 daily business affirmations. Also, that is free. And I have the self reflection guide that asks you 30 questions to start to work on yourself. That is a free guide. It's 30 questions you can start asking yourself to help you get through what it is that you need to get through. And it's work. You got to spend time and you have to write 30 questions. You can do 3 questions a day. 3 questions a day. Print those questions out and do 3 questions a day. 5 questions a day. There's 30 of them. However you want to divide it up. But do it to where you're going to be able to take that time with yourself without being distracted, so you really can ask yourself those questions. Yes, you may cry, you may get mad and upset, but that's part of it. That's why you need to be by yourself and doing the work. And it's okay. It's okay to cry. I was crying yesterday. I was up doing my journal, just crying, just doing my journal, just mad, just crying. But that's part of it. I'm being transparent. You have to let those tears flow, because sometimes it hurts. Sometimes things hurt that you did not expect, you did not prepare for, you did not, you were not ready for it. But sometimes things don't go as we plan, as we plan them to go. And guess what? You got to plan for that. You got to plan for the unplanned. And pay attention to and look at the lesson you can extract from it. I'm always looking at lessons. I got a lot of lessons from my unplanned stuff. And sometimes God wants us to go through these things so we could depend on him. Because sometimes we let things and people become our God. We depend on those things and people too much. That's why so many people lost their jobs. A lot of people lost their jobs or was pushed out of their jobs because we needed to be dependent on God and not their job. Now, we don't have any other dependents, but Lord, it's me and you. You're going to have to make a way. You have to pay these bills. And that's what he wants sometimes. He just wants you to trust him a little. Then he'll open the door for you. You just got to trust him. Trust him. So you all be blessed. Be blessed. Thank you all for tuning in with me.